General Hospital GH. Spoilers tease that Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, has met a few ladies in his new hometown of Port Charles, New York. One of them is gallery owner Ava Jerome, Mora West, who helped him select some new art for Windermere. When she found out that he now lives on Spoon Island, she accepted his invitation to check out her old stomping grounds. Is Ava angling to live in the haunted house once again? Definitely maybe. General Hospital spoilers. Does Ava Jerome have her eye on Sidwell? Ava is financially bereft at the moment. She wants to fight Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, for custody of their daughter Avery, Ava, and Grace Scarola, but needs cash to do so. She thought she had the Cassadine fortune, but her divorce settlement was taken from her, and now she's an ordinary citizen. Unless someone wealthy steps up to help a girl out. General Hospital. Will Ava Jerome score a payday? Jens is a red-blooded male, and Ava is a temptress. We can see these two fanning the flames of lust, and maybe even something deeper. But in the meantime, Jens may be willing to help the blonde if he gets something in return. Fans are speculating that he wants to take over Sonny's territory, so siding with his ex would be a good place to start. Can you just see Ava spilling all sorts of secrets to Jens? Ava likes her boys bad, and Jens is bad to the bone. The more we think about it, the more we like this couple. Call them Java. General Hospital. Java is on the horizon. Java have the means to turn Port Charles upside down, especially since Sonny is ailing. His heart is giving him fits, and he wants no one to know about this lest he seem weak. We can tell you that he plans a trip to LA to consult with a specialist, so maybe the cats will play while he's away. General Hospital. What happens next in Port Charles, New York? General Hospital spoilers tease that Sidwell is poised to ruffle feathers now that he's ensconced himself in PC. Tell us, GH fans, do you want to see him and Ava hit it off? General Hospital. Ava and Jen's scheme to topple Sonny Corinthos. It was a crisp morning in Port Charles as Ava Jerome stood outside her gallery, nursing a steaming cup of coffee. The streets bustled with early risers, but Ava's thoughts were far from mundane routines. Her mind was consumed with a singular goal, taking back control of her life. Financial ruin had left her vulnerable, and Sonny Corinthos held all the cards, including custody of their daughter, Avery. She needed a lifeline, and she needed it fast. The arrival of Jen Sidwell in Port Charles was unexpected, but Ava was nothing if not opportunistic. Their paths crossed when he wandered into her gallery, an imposing figure with a discerning eye for art. Over the course of their conversation, Ava learned that Jens had recently taken up residence at Windermere. It wasn't just any property, it was her old stomping grounds, a place filled with memories, both bitter and sweet. Ava had extended her expertise to help Jens furnish his new home, but she hadn't anticipated the spark of intrigue she felt toward him. He was different, enigmatic, ruthless, and, above all, rich. It didn't take long for Ava to realize that Jens could be the key to reclaiming her power. The question was, how far was she willing to go? Chapter 1. A Tempting Proposal. Jen Sidwell's mansion on Spoon Island was an architectural marvel. As Ava stepped into the grand foyer, she couldn't help but feel a pang of nostalgia. The polished marble floors, the glittering chandeliers, the air of decadence, it was all too familiar. "Welcome back," Jen said, his deep voice reverberating through the hall. He approached with a glass of wine in hand, his tailored suit impeccable. "What do you think? Does it meet your approval?" Ava's crimson lips curled into a sly smile. "You've done well, Jens. It's a little ostentatious for my taste, but it suits you." He chuckled, offering her the glass. "Coming from you, that's high praise. Now, tell me, Ava, why the sudden interest in revisiting your old haunts? Surely it's not just nostalgia." Ava took the glass and sipped, savoring the bold flavor. "You caught me," she admitted. "I'm here because I believe we can help each other." Jens raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Go on. You're a man who appreciates power, Ava began, her voice smooth as silk. And I happen to know someone who stands in the way of your ambitions, Sonny Corinthos. Jens' expression darkened, but he said nothing, letting her continue. Sonny controls this town, Ava said. His influence is everywhere, and he's made my life a living hell. I want custody of my daughter, and he's made sure that's impossible. But you have the resources to change that. In return, I can give you what you need to take him down. Jens' lips curled into a predatory smile. And what makes you think I'm interested in dismantling Sonny's empire? Ava stepped closer, her voice a whisper. Because I've seen the way you look at him. You want what he has, Jens, and I can help you get it. Chapter 2: The Alliance. Their partnership was forged that night over shared ambitions and a bottle of wine. Ava moved into Windermere under the guise of curating Jens' art collection, but their true goal remained hidden. Together, they began to plot Sonny's downfall, a web of deceit and manipulation taking shape. Ava's first move was to gather intel. She'd spent years navigating Sonny's world and knew its weak points. His health had been a closely guarded secret, but Ava had overheard whispers about his worsening condition. It was a vulnerability they could exploit. Jens, meanwhile, used his business acumen to chip away at Sonny's empire. He made calculated moves, buying out key suppliers and forming alliances with disgruntled associates. Slowly but surely, the cracks began to show. Chapter 3: Love or Strategy? As the weeks turned into months, Ava found herself drawn to Jens in ways she hadn't anticipated. Their late-night strategy sessions often gave way to moments of vulnerability. He revealed pieces of his past, the struggles that had shaped him into the man he was. In turn, Ava shared her own scars, the battle she'd fought and lost. It was during one of these moments that Jens proposed an idea that took Ava by surprise. "Marry me," he said, his voice steady. Ava stared at him, caught off guard. "Excuse me." "Think about it," Jens said, leaning forward. "A marriage between us would solidify our alliance. It would give us the appearance of legitimacy, a united front, and it would drive Sonny insane." Ava's mind raced. The idea was bold, audacious even, but it had merit. A marriage could provide her with the stability she needed and put her one step closer to her goals. But was she ready to take that leap? "You're serious," she said, searching his eyes for any hint of deception. "Completely," Jens replied. "This isn't just about strategy, Ava. I care about you. Together, we can have everything we've ever wanted." Chapter 4: The Wedding. The wedding was a spectacle, a lavish affair held at Windermere. Ava wore a gown that shimmered like starlight, her every step exuding confidence. Jens stood at the altar, his gaze never leaving hers. The guest list was carefully curated, a mix of allies and adversaries. Sonny was conspicuously absent, but Ava knew he'd heard about the event. She could almost picture his reaction, the simmering rage as he realized what she'd done. As Ava and Jens exchanged vows, a sense of triumph coursed through her. This was her moment, a declaration to the world that she was no longer a victim of circumstance. She was a force to be reckoned with, and nothing would stand in her way. Chapter 5: The Fallout. The honeymoon phase didn't last long. Sonny's retaliation was swift and brutal. He tightened his grip on his territory, cutting off Jens' supply lines and pressuring their allies to choose sides. The tension in Port Charles reached a boiling point, and Ava found herself caught in the crossfire. Despite the chaos, Ava remained resolute. She and Jens had come too far to back down now. They adapted their strategy, finding new ways to undermine Sonny's operations. It was a dangerous game, but Ava thrived on the adrenaline, the thrill of outmaneuvering her enemies. But as the weeks turned into months, cracks began to form in their alliance. Jens' ambition bordered on obsession, and Ava began to question his motives. Was he truly in this for her, or was she just a pawn in his game? Chapter 6. A Betrayal. The turning point came on a stormy night. Ava stumbled upon a file in Jen's office, a dossier detailing his plans to take full control of Sonny's empire. Her name was notably absent, replaced by a list of potential replacements to secure his power. Fury and betrayal coursed through her. She confronted Jens, demanding answers. "You used me," she accused, her voice shaking with anger. "This was never about us. It was always about you." Jens didn't deny it. "I did what I had to do. You knew the risks, Ava. Don't pretend you're innocent in all this." Heartbroken but determined, Ava realized she had to act. She couldn't let Jen's ambition destroy everything she'd fought for. Chapter 7. Ava's Revenge. Ava turned to the one person she never thought she'd ally with, Sonny Corinthos. She laid her cards on the table, revealing Jen's plans and offering her assistance in exchange for one thing: custody of Avery. Sonny, though wary, saw the value in her proposal. Together, they orchestrated a plan to dismantle Jen's empire, using Ava's insider knowledge to stay one step ahead.